Mass is a measure of how much stuff something has. If something exists, it is composed of matter. In our reality, stuff means atoms. Content is not directly proportional to size, but generally something larger has more stuff to it. The average human has about 7 followed by 27 zeros of atoms, as compared to 3 followed by 26 zeros for a gallon of gasoline. I assume that a larger object will have more mass than a significantly smaller object. Anyhow, I say this all to get to something I can physically test. We know that acceleration equals force divided by mass. Well, as mass increases, one would expect acceleration to decrease as force remains constant. In terms more directly relating to the following experiment, a more massive object will gain less acceleration from a stream than a less massive object. In our reality, the more massive object would have accelerated less. But in Minecraft, as we just saw, the seemingly less massive object offered more resistance. This brings us to one of two conclusions. Either there is no mass, and acceleration for block types are predefined, or there is mass, and the blocks are more massive. Let's explore another concept, and come back to mass later. All matter is attracted to other matter through gravity. In close proximity to a planet, objects will be attracted to the center of the planet's mass at a constant rate, yielding a constant acceleration. One would expect any two objects then drop from the same height to hit the ground at the same velocity and at the same time. In the following experiment, a man and a block of sand are dropped at the same time from a height of 10 blocks, or virtual meters. Let's see how the results compare. The results are certainly stunning. The two objects fell towards the planet at different accelerations. Shockingly enough, every object seems to fall at a different acceleration. What follows are two more trials: man versus wood blocks, and wood blocks versus sand. Note the differing acceleration rates between the three distinct objects. How does this gravity work? Is it simply random, or does it follow some otherworldly concepts which are extremely complicated? Perhaps a projectile motion experiment will shed some light on the dilemma, at least since identical objects should fall at the same rate. When the switch is triggered, one arrow is set to shoot out of a dispenser and fall half of a block, while a second arrow in the background is set to simply fall one block. We should expect the arrow being shot to fall half of a block, and half of the time it takes the other arrow to fall one block. Our prediction turned out to be wrong. Apparently objects even have different acceleration rates in different circumstances. The arrow which fell one block dropped almost instantaneously, while the arrow which was supposed to drop more quickly dropped much more slowly. Everything that happens in Minecraft resembles real-world circumstances, seemingly having real-world laws and logic. But when taken a level deeper, it's just random constants and equations made to imitate reality. I believe that there is no mass or gravity in the game, just simple set accelerations for certain circumstances. When gravitation and mass are not present, how can anything make sense? It's a pretty game, but there are certainly no shortcuts for finding anything out. One interesting factor I failed to mention, or even pay attention to, is the fact that in-game time does not function like it does in our world. Time is based on how quickly a computer processes what's going on. So while it may take a set period of time for something to happen in my reality, in-game everything happens as it is processed. and the time something is processing, in effect, doesn't actually exist in the game. This may have slightly put off some of my data, which incorporates time.